You can travel for leisure or work, or you are planning to move to a new city. Your first instinct to choose the safest country, and you're free to go anywhere in the world you like. You should keep an eye out for no-go places if you want to live a safe and happy life. Still doesn't ring any bells? We are talking about the most dangerous cities in the world that will send you to the afterlife probably the next day you set foot there. But don't worry, we've got you covered with the list of top 10 most dangerous cities in the world. It's not that you can't go there, just choose a different location to spend your vacations or live. Before we start though, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and turn the notifications on so you can be among the first people to watch every new video. With that said, let's take off, shall we? Number 10. Ciudad Bolivar, Venezuela. Ciudad Bolivar, the capital city of the Bolivar state of Venezuela, is one of the biggest mega slums where there is rampant violence and drugs. Although it is a gorgeous city and the base for exploring Angel Falls, one of the world's largest waterfalls, but the dangers of the living in this city defeats the beauty and positive exposure of the city. A good reason to avoid visiting this city, if you are a new traveler, is the homicide rate of 69 per 100,000 population. The main reason for such terror is the poor judicial system, gang wars, and no law and order in the city. That's not all. Many people are advised to travel in armored vehicles due to the high risk of robbery. If that wasn't enough, heavy rain in the region even leads to flooding in crowded hillside slums. Number 9. Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. It is just hard to believe that a city that lies across the Rio Grande El Paso, Texas, is a place where your life hangs by a weak thread. But it is as real as it gets. Ciudad Juarez is one of the most dangerous cities in the world, with a homicide rate of 86 per 100,000 residents in the city. If you think these numbers are high back in 2010 when crime rates were at its peak, every day around 250 people were killed, whether in direct murder attempts or innocents in the crossfire. Even today, they don't only target Americans, but tourists make easy targets to rob. Number 8. Durban, South Africa. Despite having undergone a major makeover after the 2010 World Cup, poverty is still rife throughout the city. What's more, there are high levels of serious crime, including murders and robberies. The political instability in the city that causes regular protests and displays of unsettling behavior by the citizens, so it is best to avoid any areas with political rallies. The police regularly visit beach areas with cameras and lights to keep the situation in check. But if you want to save yourself from being robbed or mugged, stay in the lights and crowded areas. Number 7. Pietermaritzburg, South Africa. Pietermaritzburg might be known as the City of Flowers, but things are far from rosy. An extremely high population and a very small police force are believed to be the chief causes for the high levels of crime. In fact, the city is considered South Africa's crime capital. Public transport can be very dangerous in the city, so you need to take private transport at all times. Even then, you shouldn't let your guard down then. Moreover, travelers are also advised not to walk around the city, both during the day or night, and stick to the main streets. Also, avoid taking out cash unless you're inside your hotel or at a bank. Number 6. Fortaleza, Brazil. The facade of colorful buildings and beautiful beaches, you'd want to go running towards the Fortaleza, but before you book your flight, you might want to consider how dangerous the city is. In fact, it sits on top of the list of Brazilian cities with high criminal activities. Bag snatching and pickpocketing are very common, especially in more touristy areas. So, travelers need to keep their belongings safe and stay vigilant. If that wasn't enough, Fortaleza also has high homicide rates of almost 69 murders per 100,000. Number 5. Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. The capital and largest city of Papua New Guinea, Port Moresby, is one of the most dangerous cities in the world. Violent crimes such as abduction and kidnapping are very high, mainly political tensions and civil unrest. Most of the time, tourists get caught up in the crossfire and are attacked. Additionally, crimes in the city range from gang-related to entirely random attacks, so you need to travel with extreme caution. Also, try and avoid traveling during the night entirely, and it's not safe. Port Moresby and the entire country in general are also said to be the worst place in the world for women. Number 4. Pretoria, South Africa. Pretoria is famously home to the National Zoological Gardens of South Africa, one of the world's largest zoos. It's also one of South Africa's 3 capitals, the other 2 being Cape Town and Bloemfontein. But it's also infamous as one of the world's most dangerous cities. Travelers should avoid walking or even traveling around the city at night. Civil violence is common, as is anti-foreigner violence, although that has been limited to immigrant workers until now. But still, Pretoria sees high levels of violent crimes and is the most dangerous city in South Africa. Number 3. Acapulco, Mexico. The popular coastal city of Acapulco sits on the southwestern shores of Mexico, overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. It lies just 6 hours south of Mexico City and was considered the top Mexican coastal gateway once. However, it's considered one of the most dangerous cities in the world. In fact, this city sees high homicide rates of 111 per 100,000 people due to this reason. And it's this uncontrollable violence that's also been the chief reason for the devastation of the city's tourism industry. Number 2. San Pedro, Honduras. Yet another Central American city makes this list of the world's most dangerous cities. This time, it's the Honduran city of San Pedro Sula. The city was infamous as the former murder capital of the world, especially after the 2009 coup when the Honduras military exiled the former president. That's when crime levels and unemployment skyrocketed and has been rising ever since then. What's more, even violence against LGBTQ people in the city is very common, with an alarming number of attacks and murders annually. In fact, the city's violence rate is 111.03 homicides per 100,000. Number 1. Caracas, Venezuela. Without a doubt, Caracas is the most dangerous city in the world, with a record of 119.87 homicides for every 100,000 residents. Caracas has constantly made it to the list, having even topped it once in 2017. Despite being an important industrial, economic, and cultural hub, this city is rife with violence. The main reasons are poor law and order and extremely high levels of poverty. It's also the least livable city in the world, as well as its cheapest city due to crumbling economic conditions and hyperinflation. In fact, Latin America is also ranked as the highest, most violent region in the world outside of active war zones. So, what city will be your next travel destination? Share with us in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.